Welcome back, everybody. Have you ever wanted a tiny home and to live on the road? Well, that's my dream, and I'm about to make it come true. Watch this video to see how I do it. I found a vintage camper for $500 off of Facebook Classifieds, and now I am tearing it down to its bones and rebuilding it into a beautiful home of my dreams. In today's video, we're going to be showing the entire construction time-lapse from the frame up. If you want to go see the deconstruction, make sure to check out those videos next. Now, let's get going. Now, first things first, let's get these brakes working.
We're having a difficult time getting this damn brake on. Right now the problem that we have is that my hub is not perfectly round. It's like a little bit oblong. And it won't spin freely 100% of the way. So we're grinding off just a little bit more and this should be it.
Got it. It'll be able to roll today.
It'll be mobile again.
Okay. Yeah. And then it's not.
As long as they're inside the cap, that's all you gotta have.
That's inside the cap.
Yep.
Okay, after 2.5 hours of battling the right-hand side, hopefully the left will go very quickly.
Supposed to look like before the cap goes on and it spins. I have to pack the hubs with grease so that they do not overheat while I'm driving down the road.
We've got wheels again.
Now let's get started on some wiring. First I ran a couple of main leads back to the brakes up through the frame, cutting them down to size, making sure that I have the right length to reach up to the front.
All the wiring is run. Now we just need to hook it all up. Whew, that took longer than anticipated, but I'd say it looks pretty good. That's a pretty professional look if I say so myself. Not the best, but also not the worst.
Now this is where I took a little break from this project over the summer. I decided to go on an adventure up to Canada, and it was really quite spectacular. Drove through the Rocky Mountains, stayed at some beautiful campgrounds, and you definitely should check those videos out next. But it helped me clear my head. Now let's get back to work. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. 5 months later. Okay, so it's been a minute since we did an update on the trailer build, but today we're gonna start building. It's been raining, so first things first, we need to build a canopy. So we're gonna do that. Now, I mainly built this canopy because I am not going to be building this in a garage, and I'm going to be at the mercy of the weather. So I at least want to try and keep as dry as possible. First step for the frame was measuring and making sure that it wasn't over width. Next step was cutting all of the 2x4s down to size. And now on to one of many thousands of screws. Today we are getting the subfloor done on the trailer here. We've got to get the skin. So what you're looking at right here is actually going to be the bottom side. Doing it this way so that I can get it sealed once I get all of the epoxy and total boat here on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we're going to screw this all down today, and then this will become the bottom side that's sealed, and then we're going to do 3/4 inch on the other side, and that'll be the floor, and then we can start the walls. So I'm waiting on a lot of shipments right now, so let's go. Well, as you can see, the weather has not helped me out today. I've been waiting for some stuff to get here from Amazon. Yesterday and today has been absolutely just pouring down rain. So, we're at a little bit of a standstill because it has to be at least 60 degrees for me to do fiberglass. So, we're gonna wait for this weather to subside, and then we'll be able to get back to work hopefully tomorrow. So, I'll see you guys then. Let's get going on day 3. Today we're going to be fiberglassing. Yeah! We've got to do some sanding, some cutting, and then blow it all off with the air compressor, and then we're going to lay down some resin and some tape, and then we're gonna flip this bad boy over like a pancake. Now back to work. Here I'm adding supports on the end so that the exterior skin has something to screw into along the entire bottom edge other than the ends of the 2x4.
Yep. Barely, but yep.
Barely good.
Next step is to clean the wood with paint thinner to prepare for the fiberglass.
Okay, it is time to do fiberglass. Well, we're doing resin, so we're gonna pour down a layer of resin in all of the seams, and then we put the tape on, and then we do another layer of resin on top of that. So now we've got to mix this up and let it get tacky. So it said it takes about 30 minutes or so, and then we're gonna continue on. Making progress, slowly but surely.
Now I have to sand the fiberglass so that it's a smooth surface for the rubberized primer to adhere to. This will help seal up any extra cracks or seams that I missed with the fiberglass. Now that the bottom's sealed, let's flip it over and start building some floors and walls.
Like that. Yep.
The next step in the process was to insulate the entire floor. Now, a lot of people don't do this on many tiny homes, or if they do, they don't do it very thick. And I wanted to make sure that this would be able to withstand staying at ski resorts and up in the mountains in the middle of the winter. So it's an R15 value plus the plywood, so it should be plenty insulated to keep me really warm in the winter.
What's up, guys? Another day, more wood cutting, more work on the trailer. So today we are going to get some floors put on and some walls built. Hopefully that's the goal, fingers crossed. So let's get going.
The next step was to cut all the 3/4 inch plywood to length and width so that it would all fit together. I decided to go with 3/4 inch so that way I wouldn't have any flexing in any of the floors while I walked throughout it. The hardest part was definitely the V-nosed front, but I'm doing it this way specifically for more aerodynamics, so it's going to add some extra headache, but it'll be worth the payoff. Next, I used some construction adhesive to glue the boards down to the frame, and then I sent some screws through it. Let's get some walls up. Now, this was one of my biggest hurdles because I have never been in construction and I don't really know what I'm doing, so keep that in mind if you plan on following any of my steps to recreate this for yourself.
Because we want to try and stay at 15, and this could move. We want to stay, if we can stay at 15, it's perfect for putting insulation. It makes it way easier when you can do it full.
So 15 would be right there.
But would it? Because this may move.
Maybe after a night of rest, I'll figure out how to do this right. Well, after a little bit of rest and a little more research, I figured it out, and I know that I'm going to be building basically house walls, but thinner with 2x4s. Now, before we build too many walls, I need to secure the floor to the frame. I used these lag bolts with copper washers and some silicone in all of the holes underneath and drilled them up through the frame into the wooden subframe. Now with that out of the way, on to some more walls. Now that all the walls are on, it's time to cut out some wheel wells and sand everything down. I used a router with a roundover bit to give everything a nice clean edge around the entire trailer.
Oh, like a glove! Woohoo!
Now I have to sand everything down and put joint compound in all of the seams and cracks to make sure that everything is nice and sealed once we put the fiberglass over it. and to sand again now that all the joint compound is on. Now, let's build some wheel wells. This part was extremely difficult as I had to get the shape down to fit a piece of plywood on each side, and it was very complicated, especially since I don't have a lot of tools for woodworking. But I think they look pretty good if I say so myself. Now for the best part of this entire project, and by best I mean the absolute hardest. Time to start some fiberglass.
Ooh, yeah, let's get it.
Fiberglass is very difficult to work with, and it's also very sharp. It's super sticky working with the resin.
Yep.
So we repeated this process around the entire trailer on every seam with the seam tape and the epoxy resin. Then we do an entire layer of epoxy resin over the entire roof and then lay a whole fiberglass strand mat down on top of it to give it reinforcement. Now I have to add more joint compound to any of the low spots in the fiberglass and make it so it's more of a smooth surface. After that dries, we have to sand it all down again one final time to get the final smooth finish that we're looking for, and we should be able to paint soon. Now that all the sanding's done, let's get some paint on this thing. It's actually starting to come together and it's looking so good. I can't wait to see the finished product. Even though I did a fiberglass roof, I still wanted to make sure that I was never going to experience any leaks, so this is a rubberized roof. This should help make sure that I can have snow, rain, and anything in between and never have to worry. I also used a rubberized waterproof primer underneath the paint to make sure that all the walls were also sealed. Now looking back, I definitely would not choose spray paint as my form of paint, but this is what I did, and now I am going to have to live with those consequences. The bottom half of the trailer is painted with a spray-on bed liner that is rubberized as well, so it should repel water very well.
Well guys, it's complete, at least the outside. So I hope you've enjoyed the build video so far. Make sure to check out the next video where we're gonna do the inside and all the lights and everything to do interior wise. But the weather is taking a turn, so my goal was to get it done. It's not complete yet. I still have to get some diamond plate to go across the front right there and some tongue jacks and stuff like that, but then we're done and it'll be ready for winter. So I have a little issue with the paint where it's lifting and I'm gonna have to fix that, but I can't fix that until the weather gets warmer because it's currently 36 and snowing / raining. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series so far. If you haven't went back and seen where this trailer started, definitely go check those videos out. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to grow on YouTube. I'm trying to make this more of a weekly thing, but life gets in the way. I gotta work. I gotta make more money to pay to build this trailer, and some likes and some shares and some comments would really be helpful. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.